Welcome, bounty hunters and Star Wars fans alike. It is All Fetts Are Off, coming to you live on this Monday night in Miami, Florida. I am the Tuscan Toast, and in San Antonio, Texas, it is the charismatic Carillion. Brian, good evening and happy Monday to you. How are you?
Happy Monday, Tuscan Toast. Another Monday.
Another Monday, and as you all know, every Monday night at 7 Central Time, we have our Star Wars show, All Fetts Are Off. And we are
another Monday, another 90 minutes of Star Wars goodness,
and,
at least.
And
I hope Star Wars
and other
goodness.
Things when I go off on my rants and start talking about other random nerd stuff.
Well, we're gonna try and start limiting that. You know, we are going after being the Star Wars podcast.
You know
for
what?
Star Wars fans out there.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds exactly like something a communist would say. Are you a communist, Brian? Or
when it comes to this show, absolutely.
Or are you an American?
When it comes to this show, I'm absolutely communist. Forget it. Democracy flies out the window when we go on air here. You're in my domain.
This is not a cheerocracy anymore. You're a cheer-tater.
You know, I think discovering that... Which director was that? Did we discover that one of the new directors coming up was was from Bring It On?
Yeah. What did we talk about? Oh my God, that's so awesome that we tied those two together so early in the show. It's pretty awesome.
I can't remember which show that was or who we. There's somebody coming to do a project, and they were working. They were on Bring It On at one point.
Yeah, I don't remember the esteemed director of Bring It On. I remember we talked about that, but I don't remember which one it was. I'll look it up a little bit later.
We envisioned all kinds of things going on with Star Wars at that point, like Sparky Pilastri was going to come and do the motivational speaking for the Stormtroopers.
That's right, and talk about the Spirit Fingers and everything like that. That's what we talked about. Yes, that's right. That's right. So what's going on over there? What's up with C-3PO?
No. This we're saving for a visitor. That's as soon as that visitor arrives. So that will be explained and revealed when the visitor joins us this evening.
Can somebody actually wear that C-3PO? Is that can it open?
Now that C-3PO is special. This C-3PO is special because I'm telling you, the copyright on the bottom of the neck is 1977.
So it was made in 1977?
Yes. So the label, the copyright inscription that's on the bottom of the neck says copyright 20th Century Fox 1977. I'm not letting anybody put that on.
Is it possible?
If George Lucas walked in the room right now and asked if he could put it on, I'd tell him to get out.
Well, you should tell him to get out for a bunch of other reasons, but not just for that.
Really? You cannot harbor ill feelings to the genius. Don't do that.
I'm a hater. What can I say?
No, you just want to tick me off. That's why it's beyond hating.
Because it's so easy. That's why. You know, I take the path of least resistance to annoy you.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous that I have to suffer that on a weekly basis.
Yeah. At least it's a weekly basis. It's not every day. So, you know, I think it's safe to say this now because it's not going to happen. But, you know, I was going to try to come down to San Antonio during the 4th of July. But
Rona?
Yeah, but because of all the spikes in cases, and we all know that, you know, my mom is, she is a little frail, but she's still strong and tough. But I don't want to get her sick. I don't want to get on a plane.
Well, you are doing the right thing, sir.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people right now are not doing.
I miss you guys. I want to come and see my family, but, you know, not at the expense of, killing you all. So
thank you.
So
we appreciate it.
I'm going to spare you, and I'll come down whenever it's a little bit safer, you know.
That's not only a responsible thing and kind thing, but it's the right thing.
And some people will say that that's the first responsible and right thing I have ever done.
Well, no, the first responsible right thing you ever did was admitting that I'm right. So.
Oh, well, that doesn't happen often. Okay, you know what? I'm never admitting you're right ever again. No. Okay, fine. You want to fight? We're gonna fight.
Fight!
We'll do it. All right.
Wow, we got some new sound effects that are not Star Wars, but it's
yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah, because you know what? This is nerd stuff. And where did I get my name? Mortal Kombat.
Toasty!
There you go.
Wait. Only the Toast is from Mortal Kombat?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. But you know what? It's not so. Let me tell the world and our single viewer out there, TX Utah. So.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. But from now on, you do as I tell you. Okay?
Classic.
So
Classic.
it's not so much funny as to how I got the nickname. It's funny
I don't
how
know
I kept
any
it.
Mortal Kombat characters named Toast. Or
There
only
is
the Toast.
no. It's that little guy that would come out. The guy that would go Toasty whenever that you would do like an uppercut from time to time.
I don't remember that guy.
Yeah, it's a little guy that would come out of the. Look, I'll bring it up. All right, since
No, you don't got to bring it up. I believe you.
No, I have to. Now I have to.
Because here we go off tangent again.
This
Here
is
it comes.
because we're talking about me here. We're talking about me. I'm a co-host of the show. This is not a tangent, but this is. Hold on.
What did the guy say?
Toasty.
The little midget guy you're talking about?
Toasty. So
He said the word toasty?
yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. All right.
I don't believe that this happened in Mortal Kombat. That's too silly.
What? There. Did you see that?
Happened so fast I didn't even see him.
Sorry. You didn't see that.
It's not Sub-Zero. He doesn't have a mask.
See?
Oh,
Okay, hold on. Maybe this. Yeah. See? You didn't know about that?
no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, man. That's so. Anyway, so I used to play that game all the time when I was in middle school. Right? It was
Right.
an unhealthy addiction to this game, just because it was so fun. And so I would go around and I would go toasty, like an idiot, at school. And so a friend of mine, his name, and I remember his name. His name was Eric Giles. I don't know what happened to this guy, but that was his name. He was a good friend of mine when I was in middle school, and he gave me that nickname. So it's not so funny how I got it, but how I kept it. So after I left middle school, I went to Central for a couple years,
Mhm.
and one of my buddies from the same school went over there with me. I mean, we weren't like good friends, but he knew me, and he was like, "Hey, Toasty," So he, the nickname stuck when I was at Central, and then when I went to other Catholic schools because I kept getting kicked out. The same thing would happen every time I moved. Somebody I knew from that previous school moved along with me up until being at St. Gerard's. And then I kept that name, and then everybody would call me Toasty, and that's how it just kind of stuck around. So
There you go.
yeah. So there's the genesis of my nickname, but I always tell people it's not funny how I got it; it's funny how I kept it. So you can't give yourself a nickname. That's kind of stupid sometimes. But
Why can't you give yourself a nickname?
well, you can, but getting it to stick, it's not easy, But yeah, that's how I got Toasty. And that's how Only the Toast I came up with. I mean, because it just sounded cool when I was making up an email address. So
we have the legend of Only the Toast.
Yes, the legend of Only the Toast is born.
Fascinating.
Then. Yep. So there it is. And here I am, almost a 40-year-old man with a nickname of Toasty.
Toast.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was fun, and everybody now knows a little bit about my past. Stop digging. So that's it. What are we doing?
Well, do we want to give a recap, or do we just want to get into some of the stuff?
Yeah,
what do we want to do?
Yeah, do the recap because I don't have the printout with me. I don't know what we talked about.
Oh well, that's pretty bad because I don't have the printout either. But I can.
That's wing it.
That's us here at All Fetts, guys. We're always prepared.
Yeah, we're just.
We're always prepared. Well, last week we talked a little bit about Squadrons.
Yeah.
From EA, that's what ended up was EA's Project Maverick. Mm-hmm. We talked a little about that. We talked a little bit about Filoni stating that he was probably
done with Clone Wars. Yeah, that's right.
Clone Wars.
Yep.
we discussed a little bit about did different directors impact the prequels, not having used different directors.
Yeah, you have a good memory.
We talked a little bit about that. Oh, I have a good memory. Well, thank you.
Yeah, because I don't remember anything. I don't remember what I even did for breakfast.
It's because I'm so youthful that I have an intact memory.
And you have that youthful glow too.
Do I?
You're glowing something.
I don't want to use glow. I don't want to use glow. That's no. I have a youthful aura. I like that better.
Sure, whatever you want to call it, nerd. That's the pot calling the kettle black.
Look,
right.
People hear glow, they think like Mariah Carey from Honey. Okay,
or that you're pregnant,
or they think Xanadu or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
I have a youthful aura.
Glitter.
It's better. Okay.
Wait, Mariah Carey? No, Mariah Carey was Glitter. Remember the worst movie ever? Like it was.
Are you serious? Are you gonna like extrapolate differences right now? Glow, glitter. Come on,
I really shouldn't because
that's potato right there.
Because apparently it sucked so bad. I want to see it now, just because everyone panned it, said it was such a horrible movie.
You know what I bet happens with Honey? I bet it gets the same status as Showgirls with
Honey?
Elizabeth Berkley.
Honey?
I'm telling you, what Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley was so god awful that it ended up becoming a pop culture thing with documentaries and whatnot.
Oh, just because
I bet the same thing happens with Honey.
Just because it had so much nudity in it. That's why it was like Showgirls.
No. It was about really how bad the movie was. That's
not what everybody was talking about. Everybody was just
that's what they were talking about.
How Jesse from Saved by the Bell was, just
no.
birthday suit the whole time.
Now you got to go back and check some of the feedback. Horrendous movie, and it is so horrendous that it now has a pop culture following. I'm telling you.
Really? Well, I only saw the interesting parts, or the parts that interested me. Anyways, So, and because what did it come out in the 90s?
Man, I completely walked into this one, man.
I was a teenager at the time. I mean, come on, internet wasn't a thing yet. So
this is like when you're playing that game Pitfall and you just go right in.
Yeah,
you just right in.
Yeah, you did because I have a really sick.
You don't even make a play for the rope or anything. You just go.
I got a sick and twisted mind. I mean, but you know that already. But all right, we can get off that subject.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm regretful I brought it up.
Well, speaking of Showgirls, we talked about David Prowse being disrespected.
Seriously, really? How do you tie those two?
You don't.
What is with you? How do you even remotely find a connection there at all? I don't even understand.
Because he was acting very diva-ish. Yeah, if that's a word.
You're really reaching right now, man. You know that?
Yeah.
Finding a connection there is like saying you found a genetic connection between Gungans and Klingons.
Oh my god.
Bad that is.
What a theory.
Don't even go there.
What
there isn't.
What if Gungans were like the proto form of the Klingon warriors? Oh my god, that would be so awesome. Imagine the fan fiction you could write with that kind of stuff, man.
Really lost it now. You know that, right?
Oh man.
Yes. Now you're bridging two rival film factions, and then you're talking about genetic connections between one of the stupidest characters from one of them into one of the most badass characters from the other. I mean,
what the Misa saying?
You need serious help if you're doing that. Serious, major therapy.
Well, you're not the first one to accuse me of needing that. Proud to say. All right, what else did we talk about?
Well, that pretty much wraps up.
No. We talked about EA, Top Gun, and then we talked about.
I went through that already.
Oh, you did? Okay, and Celebration got so much for Celebration. That ain't happening for another 2 years.
Celebration was axed. That was gone.
That ain't happening for another 2 years. So we'll just forget
2022, in fact. 2020.
Yeah,
you know what's up on the chopping block next? You know what's next, right? New York City Comic Con is going to get axed.
Oh yeah, nothing's happening this year, man. It's just not. It's not. I mean, except for rallies.
Oh wait,
if we know what we're talking about, that's going to happen.
Rallies that were less than 10,000 people.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But we're not going to have Comic Cons. We're not going to have, big conventions. But you know what? While we're on that subject, I think this is a really good opportunity for some of those conventions, right? To maybe have some sort of, and we talked about this before, having some virtual
convention.
Yeah, like a virtual convention, virtual online forums and things like that, because you still want to generate interest and fandom for your upcoming movies and upcoming series. Because I mean, this life will go on, life will continue. We just don't know when.
We hope so, anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it will.
It
will go on, and movies will still be made, and people will still need to be entertained. So you want to continue generating that interest. So if you're gonna cancel it because you don't want people around, cool, understood, good idea. But do something. Give us something. Just have like some online forum, and have the actors that were normally going to be there, the directors, have them do a Skype or a Zoom or whatever million different types of web chatting we can all do. It'd be great.
So you're envisioning something similar to what they did with the NFL draft on the virtual draft?
Yeah, and you know what? That was fun to watch, except I didn't need to know that much personal information about the players. I didn't need to know if their mother was a single mom or divorced 6 times. Social security number, funny things would be like, okay, favorite cereal is Lucky Charms with bananas. Okay, who does that?
Apologies to all divorcees and single people.
No, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just, I mean, why do I need to know that about your mom if you're going to be playing football? I don't need to know that. That's not.
Well, they got to fill it with something. I mean, it's not your usual broadcast.
Yeah, but fill it with something more interesting, like he'd love to play video games or whatever, or he loves Madden or hates Madden, or fun, light stuff. I mean, we don't need to know that they came from a troubled past. I mean, we're all messed up in the head. We all have family issues. I get it, man. It's just for sports, we don't need to know that drama. They're not politicians. They're not running for office. They're just trying to make $1 million playing an awesome game. So that could possibly give them brain damage later on in their life. But that's about it. So we don't need to know all that stuff. So and they got a lot of heat for it. The NFL got, or not the NFL, but ESPN for their coverage. But that's just what they do. ESPN, it's just like
they may have gotten
network.
A lot of heat for it, but let me tell you, the ratings were the highest rating on anything that.
I'm not saying that it wasn't entertaining. I'm saying it's very entertaining. But I mean, come on, have a little class with it. Maybe next year if you do the same thing, fine. I mean, it was cool for Roger Goodell to do it in his basement and all that stuff. And did you even see that in the background of his TV? He had all those people booing and stuff like that. Because everybody, that was funny. That was so funny. That was so funny.
I didn't find that. No, sorry.
But yeah, he was a good sport about it, and that's because that's just what they do.
No,
he comes up, they boo.
I don't care that they booed him. That I don't care. I just thought the whole concept was just nah.
Of the draft?
You know what they should have done?
All right, news alert, go for it.
You know what they should have done?
What's that?
They should have done the virtual draft with a dating competition in the mix of it.
Who wants to date a potential millionaire?
There you go, something like that, man. Like that I would have watched.
Oh,
that
man.
I would have stuck with.
Dancing with the draftees.
Just for the first round. Just for the first round, man. Just you got all the first 32 picks going on, and then you got 32 single bachelorettes on the other side, and you're just in between picks instead of filling the TV with statistics and college highlights and all that.
None of the stuff we need to know. We don't need to know any of that.
You forget all that. You do the dating competition in between. That I would have watched.
So wait a minute. If a college player originally was supposed to go to the draft and decides not to go, do you call him a draft dodger? You could, right?
I think you need the politically correct term. He's a draft absentee.
No, he's a draft dodger.
He's a draft absentee.
So wait a minute. Even during the MLB draft, if you get drafted by the Dodgers, are you a draft dodger?
You spend time thinking about this stuff.
I know, man. It's the stuff. It's the stuff I think about when I'm alone and on the toilet.
See, that's too much information again. Golly, man.
Everybody does it. There's even a book. Everyone poops. Come on, man. I'll send it to you if you really need it. Speaking of which, I need to send you that standee. I have it in a box. I just
don't worry about that, man.
No, I got it. I got you.
A lot of stuff going on right now. Don't stress yourself about that.
I'm not gonna stress myself. I'm just gonna lick it a bunch of times and then send it to you. Spit on it and throw a couple of snot
spit on it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow my nose and then throw it in there and then send it off to you. That's all. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do, man.
It just keeps evolving. Well, let's give an overshot for tonight now, shall we?
All right. Yes.
Since we've done our multi-interrupted recap, I'll just call it that.
Yes.
So tonight we're gonna talk about our usual Star Wars goodness that we're gonna go through. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go a little bit about tomorrow being the release date for a game of the past resurfacing and coming to the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. We're going to talk a little bit about, is Disney taking a page from its Marvel success and putting that into the saga?
I hope so.
Evan McGregor had some things to say about Disney Plus with Kenobi, and we're going to talk a little bit about a potential issue already with Squadrons, with pre-orders only just now going on, and we're going to talk, does the saga really need fixing?
Yes. And you say no.
Whatever.
Round 1.
Fight!
Well, we're not on that topic yet, so
No, I cannot wait, though. My God, I'm foaming at the mouth.
Yet, so slow your jets. You've got it rolling on the AFO ticker where it is, so we're not there.
I know. But, I mean, it's our show. We can do whatever we want. We can talk about it first. No, let's talk about it last because we'll never get to anything else.
We're not going to talk about it first or last. We're going to talk about it where it's at.
Okay, Dad. Let's go.
All right. Let's just get into it.
All right. Obi-Wan Ginobili. All right.
Yeah.
Ginobili! Charles Barkley.
So Evan McGregor,
2003. Sorry.
who played Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequels,
Yep.
episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Has shed a little feedback on how things are going with the Kenobi series coming to Disney Plus. And from what he seems to be stating, I think things seem to be moving right along. It doesn't seem like they're experiencing too many setbacks, if any.
Are they in production right now?
They're in production right now.
Oh, they are. Okay.
So
Okay. I wonder what kind of precautions they're taking.
it's a good question. I'm assuming that
I know it's really hard to maintain 6-foot distance, but
right.
I think maybe, unless they tested them beforehand and they keep them, in a very controlled environment and daily temperature checks. That's really all you.
I'm assuming masks are used minus filming. I would assume.
Probably, unless they keep it a very, like I said, like a very closed environment where. They're like a jury. They just stay in a hotel and they don't have any contact with the outside world. So,
well, you would think that'd be the ideal thing to do. You would think right now.
Yeah. Just like what they're going to do with the NBA players in Orlando. But even that kind of stuff, is okay.
That might not be happening.
Yeah, it may not be happening. It may not be happening.
I don't have a whole lot of faith in that taking place anymore.
No, I think they should just stop. Just stop.
But if you can go into your little web ticker,
yeah,
you usually bring up for us. If you go to that #show.com, which is where I discovered the source for this.
Oh, here it is.
We can actually bring up the quote from Evan McGregor. There you go.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
There we go.
And if you scroll down a bit, I'll be happy to read it off.
Here it is.
There's Evan McGregor right there.
Okay.
So his statement, I think I'm going to enjoy it much more. The prequels were all blue screen and grease screen, and it was hard to imagine. But nowadays, I think things have moved on so much, and I think a lot of what you see is going to be what we see on the set. I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes of The Mandalorian, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But they employ that incredible screen. It's pretty amazing. Makes you feel like you're in the place. It's going to feel... Is this a real term, by the way? It's going to feel realer.
More real.
For us. It's for us as actors, is how he states it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll be using some of that technology on our show. So if you scroll a little bit down more beyond the further, yes, right there. So go back.
Not Bill O'Reilly. Okay.
No, I don't want to see him. All right. Actually, are you able to click on that picture? Will it zoom in if you click on it, or?
No.
All right, so we'll leave it there.
Right.
So what you're looking at there is a pic from the Disney Galleries documentary on The Mandalorian, and
that's on Disney Plus right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you won't watch, and what they're discussing here.
Fine, I'll do it.
Well, I asked you to do it weeks ago, and you didn't do it.
Well, you know what? Fine. I'm going to do it, but not because you told me.
You said you were going to do that with Clone Wars, and there were like 3 or 4 you didn't watch. So right here is a segment from that documentary, and what they're discussing is what they used to make make the actors feel more immersed into the environment as they play their characters. Mm-hmm. And they actually, Kevin Feige actually referenced back to things that they learned from the Jungle Book about shadowing. They discovered as they were trying to get shadows to play off Mowgli, the character, and Bagheera and all the other characters, that they discovered that sunlight shadowing works one way when it's done authentically, and it works completely different when you're using blue screen and green screen, and it just doesn't give a sense of authenticity. So they had to do all kinds of different things to realize that. So what they came up with here is they built like a dome. Mm-hmm. And within this dome are all these giant LED 8K screens within the dome. Mm-hmm. And they surround, and then one large one on top, and they surround everything. Mm-hmm. And then they're using some motion capture technology from things that Microsoft and Sony would use for their Xbox and PlayStation softwares that other gaming companies would implement. Uh-huh. And they use this combination of video game technology and these large LED screens surrounding to help the actor feel more immersed and to get the shadowing right and to make it accurate. And it's just really incredible as they go through the steps that they used to end up realizing this. And it's just incredible to see the drop in the bucket that George Lucas made in 1977, where he came and he threw a blue screen so that he could make it look like the Millennium Falcon was flying in space. Mm-hmm. He needed to come up with something to make starfighters and ships look like they were in space. Mm-hmm. And he didn't want something cheesy like throwing paper mache back there or something. He wanted it to look legitimate. So George Lucas invents the blue screen Manning technology so that he can composite space mm-hmm. onto an environment. And here it is evolving into this, and I think that's something special. And if they're going to use this for Kenobi, we're going to have something just through the roof.
Visually, yes. And,
visually, yeah.
You know, and it's interesting that we're looking at this with Ewan McGregor, because he said this even I think it was somewhere between episode 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. I don't remember, but he talked about acting in front of a blue screen, and it felt inauthentic. But I mean, it's acting. I mean, how authentic can it be? But it was more difficult for him because he didn't feel like he was really acting. He just felt like he was. I think he said he was something like he was playing pretend, as a kid or something like that. But he's an actor's actor. He appreciates being on locations, on sets, and interacting with other people. But the prequels were just loaded with CGI. It's just loaded with it. And he mentioned it back then, and he's saying it again. But coming back, in 2020 and filming a whole new series with this kind of this mixed reality type of way of filming, right? I mean, I think it's something that maybe him and other type of actors that enjoy that type of acting will like, and that's good. I mean, that's good for him. I mean, he's a great actor. He did very well in as Obi-Wan, and I mean in every other movie he's in, he does great. And I know he'll do great in this too, in this series. I can't wait, man. This is the one that I'm waiting for, and I will be so excited about, and we will spend many hours on this show talking about Kenobi.
Well, so. And there's been limitless conjecture as to who the nemesis is going to be, what other characters are going to be pulling in, where it's going to take place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's too much of a mystery as to where it's going to take place. I mean, there's really only one place you can look at, but the question becomes: did he really stay on Tatooine the entire time?
No, he couldn't have. No, there's no.
What makes you say that?
Well, no. Why? I mean, why? Why would he have to stay there the entire time? The whole time that he was watching over Luke?
I was just about to say, I've got one name that gives him the reason that he can't leave.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he could leave, or he may have been forced to leave, not for very long periods of time, But,
so, with as important as Luke is, would you really leave the planet for 24 hours, considering Luke's importance?
I have no idea. I don't have any kids.
I mean, does that make sense? Does that make sense?
I mean,
Luke
could.
is the last hope for the galaxy, correct? He's the last hope.
I guess.
As far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, of course there's Leia, and they understand that. Mm-hmm. But really, the one they're counting on at that time is Luke.
Well, wait a minute. How old was Obi-Wan Kenobi when he went to Tatooine? First got there during the exile, or after Order 66. How old was he?
Well,
or how many years was in between Episode 3 and Episode 4?
20. Well, 18.
18 years?
18, because Luke is 18 in Episode 4.
So, oh wow.
Let's say he was
18 years is
in his middle 40s.
18 years is a long time to be stuck in the desert, man. That's a long, long time.
They did call him a hermit, for crying out loud.
Well, I mean, he doesn't mean he had to be a hermit forever. I mean, you can be a hermit for 6 days,
It still goes back to the question: given Luke's importance, do you leave?
I mean, man, I don't know. It's a show. I mean, but yeah. I mean, he may have been forced to.
Yeah,
he may have been forced to leave. I have a mosquito in here and I'm tracking it. So if I go nuts, don't pay attention to me.
There's that mosquito virus going around, so watch for that now.
Yeah, I know.
God.
I think I don't know. I mean,
it definitely would add to the show for him to leave. I don't discredit that.
Mm-hmm.
That it would be nice for them to come up with scenarios where it required him to go to another location, but honestly, just given Luke's importance, that's going to be challenging for them, because I don't know how he comes to make that decision where he's willing to leave Luke Skywalker exposed to potential threat, even for just a day. The risk becomes not only to Luke, but the whole galaxy at that point.
And you don't want us exposing ourselves.
Right. And particularly you.
What movie is that from? You gotta know.
You're asking me if I know if that's a quote from a movie?
Yes.
Are you serious?
My God. Yes. Ghostbusters 2. Peter Venkman in the courtroom. Oh, come on, man.
I love Ghostbusters 2, and I don't remember him saying that.
It's when they were in the courtroom and then the Scoleri brothers were coming out, Because then Rick Moranis comes out and says, "You don't want my client to go out there and start doing stuff. He could be exposing herself. They could be exposing themselves." And then Bill Murray says, "And you don't want us exposing ourselves."
I suppose I'm gonna have to go back and validate this, but
yes, it's a great movie. Go watch it. Just watch it for the heck of it.
What villain do you want facing off against Kenobi in season 1?
I don't know, Tucker Carlson.
What Star Wars villain?
I I'm sorry.
Facing off against Kenobi.
I'm sorry.
It's season 1 of Kenobi.
Sorry. You have to be more specific. There's
I'm sorry.
a lot of people I consider villains out there. I mean, I think you have to kind of invent something new. You know, I think you have to kind of come up with new threats.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I think you really need to come up with new threats because I mean, you can't do the Tusken Raiders forever. You know, you can't.
You got to put them in there though.
Yeah, you got to put them in.
You have to put them in there. You got to do something where you like what they did with the Mandalorian, like what they did with Stormtroopers and Scout Troopers and Salacious Crumbs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
the Salacious Crumbs, huh? There you go. Yeah, I mean, but you can't do it forever. You can't do the Hutts forever. So, I mean, but
of course you don't make them the focal point villain, but they have to end up in there.
Yeah, they do, and you know what would be great is to know what happened to the rest of the Hutts because in Return of the Jedi, it's just Jabba, and we know in Episode 1 that there were more of them. There were more of them.
So you're talking about the whole Hutt clan being pissed off that Jabba got axed, and you're wondering what they're doing to try and get retribution for that?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
because they're gonna be mad for sure. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So
that's right. That's a definite. I'm all for that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah. So good stuff.
I definitely. I mean, I just have this feeling that they're gonna recycle from expanded universe in some way because they've done it before.
Sure. Why not?
Even though expanded universe is not a thing anymore, like with what they've done.
Yeah, kind of annoying.
I do feel they're gonna somehow recycle a baddie for Kenobi from that.
Yeah,
it just seems likely.
Yeah, and that would be fine too. I mean, really do anything to make an interesting and compelling story, and find interesting and compelling characters to fill that story. Even if it comes to the expanded universe or what used to be the expanded universe, so what? Do it. Why not?
But considering with the news that we've had on Mandalorian Season 2, don't be surprised if you see people like Ahsoka Tano and Han Solo or whatnot end up in...
Or maybe Han Solo. Han Solo! Sorry.
No. Man, you're something else. I don't know what we're gonna do with you.
I really don't know either at this point. All right, so we're all looking forward to that. That's gonna be.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good thing.
And it's good to hear from Ewan McGregor himself and to have him show some enthusiasm towards the character.
That and just indicate to us that again they're not right now. As of right now, they're not set back on schedule.
Yeah, that's good.
Now,
We'll still see it.
We know with 100% certainty that Mando 2 is not behind schedule, and we know this for the fact that they pretty much filmed both seasons like back to back. I mean, they got Mando 2 in the can before all the COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's why they're in such good shape there. So I mean, we're gonna get October on that without question.
Well, good. I mean, we need some new content.
No, I mean, considering we're all going to be shut in October, probably. I mean, that's definitely good.
Yeah, especially if this second wave that they're talking about hits. I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe this is it, or maybe this.
Oh, see, that's how entertaining we are, everybody. We got our co-host yawning at us. That's how well we do.
Give me a break. No. I ran 10 miles in 2 days. And I'm old. I can't be doing that kind of stuff.
What do you mean? You don't have the intestinal fortitude to run 10 miles? What is this?
No, I don't. I just do it because I want to look good naked. So that's just really it. You know. But
the poor lone viewer we have right now.
But I want to look good naked to myself. I want to just like look in the mirror and just stare. What a golden god this man is.
The Force is with me, and I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me, and I'm one with the Force. Okay. So we now press on.
Yep. So we talked. Okay. So cool. We talked about Ewan McGregor for a little bit, but I'm really excited. It's good to hear some enthusiasm coming from him. I know he was a little apprehensive about continuing on with the sequels just because of the green screen thing, and that's really the only complaint I've heard from him. But hearing some enthusiasm, knowing that he's really into the character, and that he has had time to really reflect on the character that he played and how everybody loved him in it. You know, so
Good point.
now he's going to have some good enthusiasm. So okay, so you're saying, is Disney taking a page from its Marvel success from Star Wars? The
scuttlebutt on that. The scuttlebutt on that is that we just finished talking about the Kenobi series, right?
Right.
And then of course we touched a little bit on Mando 2 coming out in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we heard that the director that was listed in the Vanity Fair story that had worked on, oh boy, I forgot the titles of her projects, but she's coming on to look at doing an all-female cast show for Disney Plus.
Right.
That's coming to Disney Plus. Then you have the talk of they've even talked about a Vader project somewhere in between with stuff coming. It's all this Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah.
Being discussed in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
You even talk about Ahsoka Tano getting her own deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're having her make an appearance on Mando 2.
Right.
So with all this lining up, it's leading to the belief that Disney is looking to create like the Lucasverse, like the Marvel universe.
Okay. With shows though, right?
With shows.
Okay.
But the shows tying into the films naturally. So I mean, somehow these films that they got coming through in the future, like the Exegol film and the Rian Johnson film, those are all somehow going to interconnect with everything. It's going to be one giant multiverse.
The Rian Johnson film. Okay.
What? He's getting a whole trilogy. He's not just getting a film. He's getting a trilogy. And considering how well he did on Last Jedi, I'm not concerned about it.
How well he did on Last Jedi?
Yeah, you heard what I said.
How well he did on Last Jedi?
You heard what I said.
That movie sucked. All right? That is like the AT&T of movies. All right? It's... God.
And you subscribe to AT&T.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, man. All right, fine. They're the Comcast.
Look who's joined us this evening.
Whoa! Dark Knight.
I'm so glad he's here.
Oh, that's the first thing he mentioned. Oh my God, you were so right.
I'm so glad he's here.
Wow.
I would like the Dark Knight to know that we have reinvented the Fett bucket. It is no longer the Fett bucket. It's the Fett PO.
Oh man.
So we have the Fett PO on the show. All for the Dark Knight.
God, in all caps too. Man.
Yeah, okay. I know he's yelling. Yeah, he's yelling at me, man.
Yeah, man. You touched a nerve.
He's yelling at me.
You touched a nerve. That's amazing. You were so right. That's the first thing he noticed. That's the first thing he said.
I think 3PO's peeking at him from the Fett bucket. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think he's peeking at him a little bit. He's like saying, "Hello, Dark Knight. I am now the Fett PO.
I am fluent in 3 million forms of communication. Yes.
And I can assist with bounty hunting at the same time."
Oh dear. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh my. Sorry.
So for Dark Knight, did you just join us? We just wrapped up a little bit on talking a little bit about Kenobi on Disney Plus and some of the feedback that Evan McGregor had, how production's rolling right along. Before we get into our next topic, I do want to this was a request by our Dark Knight, and I don't want all those thinking that we do not honor requests on All Fets Are Off, although I have a hard time with this one, because this is not, I say again, this is not a Star Wars topic.
Oh, okay. you're bringing up something non-Star Wars instead of me?
Again,
Instead of moi?
it's a request by the Dark Knight. He's been a very loyal listener and viewer, and I think it's only fair that this comes up in light of that. He's pretty much been with us since the beginning, and I'm not going to ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is not a Star Wars topic.
Oh, God forbid.
But
what are we talking? What is it?
So the
okay, I'm gonna love it. He says I'm gonna love it. All right.
He let me know that Warner is out there in negotiation with Michael Keaton to resume as Batman.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, it's there's links out there, man. You can look up links. You can get linked up. Again, the issue that I have with that is you've got Robert Pattinson as Batman right now. So here goes Warner Brothers again, going this way, that way with all their stuff. So I mean, whatever. But
no, man, you can do it. You can do it. That can be done. So what if you have Robert Pattinson, the Twilight guy? That's fine. Because that's going to be like Batman Year One. And this Michael Keaton, it's going to have to be Batman old. It's going to have to. But man, that's going to be so cool. I can't even imagine how they're going to do it and what the storyline is going to be.
It's really sad how all the consistency has just gone out the window. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, okay, you want to talk about consistency. You want to talk about consistency?
I do, yeah.
After these last 3 Star Wars movies, you want to talk consistency.
How is there not consistency in these movies?
Well, first of all, The Last Jedi had nothing to do with anything at all. No
it
substance.
Didn't?
No.
It had nothing to do with anything.
No,
nothing. Zero.
No,
Zero.
No,
Zero.
No.
It had absolutely zero to do.
Zero. Other than what's his name getting killed? What is it? Scarface?
So the relationship with Kylo and Rey was not discussed in The Last Jedi?
Barely.
It wasn't at all?
Barely.
Barely?
Barely. I thought they were going to hook up, and they should have.
So now you go from barely to them hooking up. I mean,
no, they should have. They should have. They should have hooked up. They should have
hook up. It hooked up in Rise of Skywalker. Again, another connection. Are you listening to yourself speak?
No, I wanted them to hook up and take over the galaxy. I wanted this Star Wars. In my heart, I wanted this trilogy to take a very dark turn. That's what I wanted, man.
I was hoping for the same, but again, you have to realize that there's 13 and 14-year-olds watching this thing, and they're not going to go that way.
You know what? 13 and 14-year-olds need to know that the world is a dark place sometimes. And
probably so, but again,
and sometimes
not what
things
Lucas
just
would do, so it's certainly not going to be what Disney is going to do.
It's sometimes things just go dark. Things just go really, really dark. Yeah. They should have done that. I wanted them to hook up and then take over the galaxy.
Well, I mean, if you really want to compare this, I mean, you're talking about, I mean, it's not like they took the character of Rey and took Daisy Ridley out of there and then found Penelope Cruz and put her in there for Rey. I mean, come on. Warner Brothers is all over the place with their DC stuff right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's because they haven't decided on what exactly they're going to do. So, look,
no kidding, really? Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, look.
I have no clue this entire time that they didn't know what they want to do.
Listen. Before you start getting all verklempt and upset, this is kind of the thing that Marvel had, right? When they had Marvel Studios, they took out that big loan, and they decided to make the Marvel Universe, right? So, they're introducing the multiverse with Keaton's Batman. The multiverse. Okay, so real quick, what I want to say is that, so when Iron Man came out, that kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there was no real good movies of substance with sequels and stuff that they had to kind of clean up, other than that Hulk movie that really sucked by Ang Lee. So you can start over fresh without any kind of real pushback. and just begin. You can just kind of begin. Now, Batman, well, Superman, right? The original Superman movie that came out in 77, right? With, Christopher Reeve. That was really it. That was the
77, but okay.
What year was it? 79? It might have been 79.
78.
78, sorry. So in between. So that was really the beginning of DC superheroes. And then you just really kind of go straight to Batman. And then now you have all these different movies because there's so many story arcs. Okay, yes, it's a mess. A little bit of a mess, right? But
a little bit of a mess?
But no. Now listen. What DC has recognized, especially in their comics, is that they have continuity issues because they've been around for a very long time, right? So
Marvel is the same way, and they had no issues getting this together with Disney.
Well,
None.
no, they didn't.
None.
No, they didn't. But you can introduce
because they did it right.
But you introduced the multiverse. Look, you introduced the multiverse with DC, and now you have every conceivable timeline ever. Injustice, Gods Among Us. It is a different timeline than Earth Prime. It is a different timeline, and Superman goes bad because Lois Lane dies because the Joker kills her. And then he kills the Joker. It changes everything. It changes everything. It is the best storyline I have ever read. All right? Injustice is the best. When you read the comics and then you play the video game or you just watch the cinematic piece of the video game, it is the best storyline DC has because it goes into a very dark place of these superheroes that you know to be good, that you know that you love. And now you see them humanized. You see Superman, although he is a Kryptonian and not a human, he humanizes and he hurts and he takes it out on the world. It's awesome. So now you can do that. You can totally do that now.
It sounds like an incredible waste of time.
It's not a waste of time. It's so fun. Why? Why would it be a waste of time? Look, this is not Star Wars where the story has been said and done for years, right? This is DC. We know how the whole story goes, right?
You're telling me DC has not been said and done for years?
It has. It has been said and done because we all know what happens, right?
Thank you for clarifying that to the world.
And I think this is when it stops. It stops when Superman dies. Superman dies, and that changes the whole landscape of how comics are now being done, especially for DC. Because what do you do now with the man, the Kryptonian, that was invincible, that could never die, finally dies? What do you do? Where do you go from there? You can't keep killing him because you've already done that, right? You gotta change up the story. You have different universes, different takes on it. You have Superman Red Sun, Injustice, Gods Among Us, right? Different ways of telling the Batman story. It's amazing and awesome and beautiful, and now we get to see it. Maybe someday Star Wars gets to that point where you're thinking of, well, what if this thing happened in Star Wars? What if Darth Vader made this decision? What if Luke Skywalker made this decision?
I'm glad you talk about that right now because it could be heading that way. If you can go back to our browser and go back to the hashtag.
Okay, what am I looking up?
You're going to look up the multiverse topic.
Okay.
Well, just search Star Wars only, I would think, and it's just going to pop right up.
Oh. Star Wars multiverse.
Nah, it's none of those. No. Just type Star Wars in the search engine. Just Star Wars.
Okay.
It's going to be the logo with Vader in the background.
There
you go.
This?
Yep.
Or the lightsaber? Who's ready for real lightsaber action?
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that one.
Or the Disney creating live action Star Wars universe on Disney Plus.
So there you go.
That one?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, with what we're discussing here with this whole multiverse thing with DC, it would appear that Disney is going to follow their Marvel map, so to speak, and they're going to start setting this up on Disney Plus with Star Wars with live action.
Okay.
So,
and Filoni's he's gonna be the showrunner.
Right. And
okay.
Filoni's been the showrunner on pretty much just about all the projects that have been coming. Like
this is the Kevin Feige, but of Star Wars. All right.
Right. This is he's working with Kevin Feige.
Okay.
And the fact that Kevin Feige's been working side by side with him on The Mandalorian gives more credence to that they're going to be setting up this Lucasverse,
okay,
so to speak. And just like what you're talking about with DC, different multiverses going here, different directions. I wouldn't doubt that they're going to start exploring that as they start to tie all this stuff in.
I would say yes, do it. I mean, everybody wants to see exactly what would happen. Let's just say Anakin doesn't make that choice. Let's say Anakin doesn't kill.
Precisely.
Mace Windu.
This goes back to what Filoni touched on when we talked about it the week before last, when he touched on the fact, what if Qui-Gon didn't die?
Right, and then what if he trained Anakin?
What if Qui-Gon was the one to train Anakin, and Anakin didn't fall to being a Sith? What then? What new kind of challenges would that have laid out to Palpatine? Who would he have? Would he had to have changed and looked to trying to find Leia, who he had no clue existed, to, get in just who knows what.
And would you finally have two stars fighting in Star Wars?
What?
Star Wars. It's called Star Wars. Not once do I see two stars fighting each other. Not once.
That's because stars are gaseous anomalies that light up that don't have any consciousness.
Semantics. All right.
That's why you don't see them fighting.
Gotcha. All right.
Excellent.
So, all right. So, have we beat that dead horse already? Are we
the done? DC dead horse? Absolutely. DC is a dead horse.
All right, fine. If you're gonna cry about it, but anyways, okay. So, fine. We talked about Disney taking a page.
You can think what you want, but there is nothing that Warner Brothers is going to be able to do to get that back off the ground. I'm sorry, it's a failed venture. Failed.
I thought it was a failed venture after Last Jedi, but no, they kept going. No.
I didn't say they weren't going to stop going. It's a failed venture.
It's not. I'm going to watch it. If you bring back Michael Keaton, I'm all about it. So, but now we're going to get into this topic.
Maybe he'll come on as Birdman instead. I'll watch it then.
That was interesting. That was a good movie. I liked it. I really liked it.
If bring him on as Birdman, I'll be there.
I'm not going to bring him on as Birdman. I'm going to bring him on as Batman.
What's wrong with Birdman?
Batman. Nothing. It was a great movie. It's going to be Batman. You're afraid to get into this next topic. I know you are.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're a little apprehensive. I know you are. I know you don't want to talk.
By the way,
about this.
If anyone out there would wish to Skype us, we will, with a question or anything you have, we will.
Oh yeah, we'll conference you in.
We will conference you into the.
Yep.
Only less than a dozen that's out there for us right now. We'll Skype you in, and we'll put you on for everyone to see you.
So I'm standing up for this topic though.
Well, you're okay.
Yep, I'm standing up.
I don't think that's going to help you any, but okay.
Yep, I'm standing up. I'm standing up for this topic.
All right. Yeah, okay. Well, you go ahead and do that. Knock yourself out.
All right.
So,
are you ready? You ready to talk about it?
I'm ready.
Go ahead, bring it up.
So, does the Star Wars saga need fixing? No.
Yes! Round one!
Absolutely not.
Let's do it! All right.
Absolutely not. It does not need fixing.
Yes.
No.
Yes. It needs it. It needs it, Brian. It needs it. Yes.
Not at all.
I think it does. I really think that it does.
Make your case if you can.
Okay. Well, okay. You tell me why it does not first, and then I'll talk about why it does. You tell me why you consider perfection the way it is.
Bottom line, we are talking about a franchise that goes all the way back to 77.
Right.
Lucas has already given us the special editions, some of which already too much. So I don't know how many Greedo touch-ups I can handle anymore. We'll just leave that as it is. I'm pretty much done with enhancing the Greedo Han Solo Cantina scene. I don't know how many more of those I can take. The saga as a whole, with everything that's going on with Disney Plus, if you take into account what they were able to do with the sequel trilogy starting in 2015, it's nothing short of phenomenal. You're talking about each film grossing at least $1 billion, if not more, each of them. The only one that didn't make it was Solo, which that's not even part of the sequel trilogy. So each of the sequel trilogy made $1 billion. Solo, of course, underachieved, and everyone seemed to like Solo. So even though it underachieved, it sure didn't get any complaints. As much as people didn't like Last Jedi, they all went to see it, and then they all bought it on video. So, que sera on that one. Everything that's coming to Disney Plus has been just fine. The Clone Wars finale of season 7 was perfect. No one has any complaints about The Mandalorian. The animated material before Disney Plus, with Rebels and the first 6 seasons of Clone Wars, no complaints there from anyone. This is a long-standing series of stories that have nothing wrong with them to begin with. So the idea that it needs fixing is ludicrous.
Well, we're going to go ludicrous speed here. Haha, Spaceballs. And I'm going to tell you why it does. It does need fixing. I don't think it needs to be completely redone. But I think it needs some continuity cleanup. I think it needs some plot cleanup. So I keep seeing new characters all the time. Fine, cool, got it. That's what happens in movies and sequels. You start seeing, new characters come about. But you completely introduce a new character like Ahsoka Tano that has such a major impact on what happened during the Clone Wars, and she's not once mentioned in Episode 3 or Episode 2 for that matter. But why? Because she didn't exist yet. I don't know if you can do that so much. If you can introduce big main characters in between movies and have such a major impact on the characters and they're not once mentioned in the movies, the continuity is not there. I think that you need to take those prequels and you need to, I think, kind of show and address the creation of the rebellion in a more dramatic fashion, right? They didn't even show where they had the council of, senators that were trying to have this contingency plan in case the emperor or the Chancellor Palpatine took power. They didn't even show that part, and it was a key part because Mon Mothma was in there, and they didn't even show that other than the deleted scenes. So I think you left a lot out. I think you leave a lot out of the prequels, and if they got redone, I wouldn't be heartbroken. But there's not a whole lot explained that we wanted to see explained, right, in this. Now, the sequel movies, I have such a big problem with because this New Order, dude, where did they come from, man? They were just there, and they were just now stormtroopers again after we saw after Return of the Jedi, right? Return of the Jedi, we saw at the end, we saw, the new Death Star explode, and then all these other, Imperial ships being downed and everything. And it just shows up? What the hell? And no explanation? I mean, man, it's a problem. It's a real problem for me because it just seems like it's lazy writing. It just seems lazy. Oh, okay, we need a villain. We need a protagonist. Or not protagonist, we need an antagonist. Oh, let's just bring back, the Empire 2.0. Dude, what? Really? And then this is not a rebellion. They're a resistance. And why are they a resistance if they're the ones in power? They're not a resistance. They should be like the army. And then the New Order should be the aggressor. It's just, it doesn't make sense politically for me. Maybe it's because I have a background in political science. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe I'm just being a dick. But that could be that could be it. So those are all my problems right there. It's a big one.
First of all, apologies to the viewers for the use of profanity on All Fetts Are Off, which we try and stay away from. Second of all, mm-hmm. The fun part of letting you go on and reach hopelessly? The fun part about that?
What's that?
Is when I get to come in right now and completely decimate it all.
All right.
Which I'm going to do. Because for everything that you just reached on, which
mm-hmm.
that's exactly what it was mm-hmm. reaching.
Mm-hmm.
There's an explanation for each and every single one of those, and I can go through them one at a time.
Do it.
So let's start with your reaching on the plot holes with Ahsoka in episodes 2 and 3. Let's start there. Ahsoka is brought into the Clone Wars as an apprentice to Anakin, indicating that the Clone Wars have been going on for some time. Meaning, the reason you do not see her in episode 2 or hear about her in episode 2 is because, as we know, in Attack of the Clones, the Clone Wars has only just started. There's your episode 2 answer. Why do we not hear about her in episode 3? So as we've seen in the final season, Clone Wars on Disney Plus, if someone paid attention, which I'm not sure because they fully admitted that they didn't watch it all. I don't know who that is. But anyway, if one actually paid attention to the series finale on Disney Plus, you discover that the timeline taking place there at the end is during the beginning of Order 66. And Ahsoka has already left the Star Destroyer after Anakin having given back her sabers. All this has taken place already. So at what point in the midpoint of episode 3 is when Obi-Wan is taking off to face Grievous. So really, where is Anakin going to mention Ahsoka at that point when Ahsoka has already been given her assignment, they've made their parting words, and they were going to reconvene later, which never gets to happen because Order 66 takes place and Anakin becomes Darth Vader. There is your explanation for episode 3. Now let's go ahead and go into the sequels and the whole plot hole of what you called the New Order, which is actually the First Order. So let's go ahead and correct the fact that you didn't have the right nomenclature. We can start there.
Weren't they the Second Order?
The First Order.
Why are they the first?
Don't worry about it. That's what they were called.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But they're not called the New Order. Let's get that established.
Whatever. First Order, New Order, sucks order.
Your point is that they did not have a brainchild. We don't know where they came from. They just plopped in out of nowhere. They have Supreme Leader Snoke. we discover in The Rise of Skywalker that Supreme Leader Snoke is in fact a clone puppet of Emperor Palpatine, meaning that Emperor Palpatine had been designing the First Order this entire time. So yes, the First Order has an origin.
But what? Really? I mean, but where does it come from? Where do you get your
We
troops?
just answered where it came from.
But where do you get your troops? They weren't clones.
Did you not see all the Star Destroyers in The Rise of Skywalker? He created a massive fleet of Star Destroyers.
Who built them?
And he was going to dub it the Final Order. If you recall, it was going to evolve from the First Order to the Final Order. Point being, there's an origin for the First Order.
Kind of a lame origin.
Well, it's there, whether you like it or not.
I don't.
It's there. I don't care that you don't like it.
It doesn't explain enough to me. I just don't know where they come from. I mean, we know.
We just answered where
we know where the Empire comes from. We know that. We know exactly how the Empire comes from.
And the Dark Knight happens to be reminding you that the Empire wasn't necessarily all destroyed at Endor. Did you really think the entire Empire was at Endor?
No.
Okay.
But their headquarters were.
So with Snoke's guidance, which is from Palpatine, if you played Battlefront 2, you would understand that there was Operation Cinder, which was all part of an operation to try and reconstruct the Imperial regime. This has an origin, so that's dead in the water for you.
Okay, guys. Remember, we're talking about fixing the saga, not the video games.
Toast. You talked about fixing the saga, listing the problems that you laid out, correct?
Right.
Episode 2, we've debunked. Episode 3, we've debunked. The origin of the First Order, we've debunked. Now, if you want to...
Did we?
Now we go... Yeah, it's all debunked.
Did we?
Right? I mean, dude, you got debunked worse than Ghost Hunters right now, man. That's how bad that was.
Well, that's all a matter of opinion.
I mean, the Roto-Rooter guys just came out and shoved a hose right up your theory from Ghost Hunters.
My poor theory. That must hurt. Dark Knight agrees with me, though, about the continuity. Yeah, he does.
I just shot the whole continuity thing completely. So,
it's hard. It's just really hard.
You want continuity problems? You need to look no further than your Warner Brothers DC issues, right there.
I'm not doubting that at all. But that's what makes it. But that's
stick to that.
I think that makes it cool and fun because they answered it with the multiverse. They're like, oh yeah, we have continuity problems. Oh, bada bing, multiverse. There you go. Star Wars didn't do that, you know.
Well, we got 15 minutes left in the show, and I want to at least go through one of the last 2 remaining topics while we still got them.
Okay, you want to talk about...
Being that you went down in flames, we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, that's a matter of opinion. All right. So.
Oh, it's not opinion.
Anyways, you thought The Last Jedi was a good movie, so I don't trust your opinion on that.
Fett PO thought your whole theory was just an absolute calamity. That's what Fett PO thought.
My, oh dear, oh my. All right, fine. What are we talking about?
We're gonna go into squadrons a bit because man, I have a huge beef. Huge.
Yeah. What? Okay. What's
can we bring up a trailer? Would it be too much trouble to bring up a trailer? Because I need to.
No, we can bring it up.
I need it to make the point I'm gonna make.
Sure.
Go to YouTube and search Squadrons gameplay. That's all I got to do.
Because the last one we saw, it wasn't gameplay, right?
Right. We got one. We just got one massive cutscene.
All right. It's official gameplay. Official gameplay trailer? Is that?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
Okay. So while this is kicking off, if if I remember correctly, on our custom shows,
Second Death Star is gone. But the
you
Imperial
talked
fleet is
about
still
how
a
you're
threat.
familiar with Rogue Squadron from
Vanguard.
GameCube, correct?
Yeah.
Let's make history.
Okay. So, what you're going to discover here is that EA has made the decision to make this a first-person only exclusive gameplay type experience. You're
It's only
correct.
first person.
You will only be able to play this from first-person cockpit perspective. There'll be no other way to play. Now,
oh man, it's gonna make me vomit.
oh, thank you. So,
Oh man.
I think I'm going to give my little spiel on it, and you can already see what they're doing. That's the gameplay that you were kind of checking out right now.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it was entirely from the cockpit. So my issues with making a starfighter game of this nature, especially Star Wars, is when you go first person only from the cockpit, you're entirely dependent on the instrumentation, one.
Yeah.
And two, you get a very limited viewpoint of what's around you. I am not with that on any level. When you played Rogue Squadron on the GameCube, you were from a third person. By the way, that's Hera. I think that's awesome. You played from a third-person perspective where you could actually move your X-wing, or move your A-wing, or move your Y-wing, and you could move it around and still see everything around you freely, and you were not constrained by the glass of your cockpit in any way, or you're relying on instrumentation completely. I believe that it's a very limiting experience. Now, there are people out there that like this, that love to do this, and it adds realism for them, and they say this is really the only way to go when you're playing a fighter game, because you want to feel like you're in the plane, you want to feel like you're in the fighter, you want to be able to experience that. For the people that want that stuff, that's fine. But guess what? I don't like it.
No, man. This is not for me. First-person shooters aren't for me. This stuff isn't for me. I mean, I need third-person's perspective. It just doesn't work on a screen. You know.
My biggest issue is, why would EA limit their audience immediately to this game?
Because that's what they do best.
Exactly. I mean, I purchased and I bought Battlefront.
Yeah.
But man, I felt limited in that experience. I'm sorry, I didn't feel like I got what I wanted from it. And this, I'm ready to puke right now, man. I'm serious.
Yeah, man. It's like I'm like getting kind of sick just watching this, just because of.
You can just shut it off now. I'm already done with this garbage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. This is a total pass for me. I'm not pre-ordering it. This is trash. I'm just throwing it out there. It's trash.
Yeah, man. I can't play that.
If you've ever played Rogue Squadron, this is trash.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron is great because you can switch. I mean, you can have a far perspective, a near perspective, and the cockpit.
I mean, I don't know what. It's sad, dude. It is a sad state of affairs.
And maybe they'll see that. Maybe they'll see that not many people are buying it just if it's going to be just third-person perspective. I mean, what kind of game where you have planes or starships just does that?
With what you're able to do now with graphics, I don't know why you wouldn't want to try and bring back what was done with.
I think they rushed it. It sounds rushed.
It sure feels that. I mean, given the fact that they went this direction, it feels that way. Now, you know what would be funny is if they end up adding like DLC where you're going to play from third person, just so that they can try and sell copies later.
I don't know. You're changing the whole game if you do that, though. I think you're changing like a lot of things in the game. I don't know if you're able to do that.
You would still obviously have your campaigns from the first person cockpit. I mean, because that's going to be the majority of the content, but I wouldn't be shocked if they threw in DLC that had third-person adventures in there, because that had a third-person perspective for missions, because again, there's no zero motivation for me to pre-order this thing. None.
No, it looks visually spectacular, but that's
I got
not
no,
enough.
I got no visually, but I need to be able to play.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to play it like that.
Yeah, it's just not enough for me, man. It just isn't.
I'll go back and play Rogue Squadron all day. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can go back on my happy little GameCube, and I don't have to have visuals of this nature. Those visuals were all I needed at that time, and they're all I still need to have a whole bucket of fun. Nah, nice try, EA, but epic fail.
Yeah. Well, sucks. Sorry, man. That is super disappointing. Actually, it's really super disappointing.
It's devastating to me.
But that, to me, when you leave out a key feature like that, it feels like you rushed it. You know, you said, like, we're going to make it look spectacular visually. We're going to give it great graphics. We're going to give it great gameplay. But we're going to leave a whole large part of the game out. We're going to focus on just first-person perspective. And that was a bad move. Because unless it's VR only, where you can move around and you see things, then it's bad.
Now, they are going to have a VR mode, but hey, I don't have VR.
And not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it.
Once again, you are limiting your consumers. You're limiting the ones. You're literally just targeting one group of consumers, and it's not cool to do. I mean, especially with something that's so exciting. We've all been waiting for a Starfighter Star Wars game to come back since Rogue Squadron. We were begging for it, and this is what they give us. I mean, it's as if they never even played Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. Why don't we look at the release of Episode 1 Racer tomorrow?
Yeah, we got 8 minutes left. Yeah, so let's that was actually going to be one of our last topics. If folks remember, there was an Episode 1 Pod Racer game that came out years ago on the Nintendo 64 and arcade, and they are going to bring that back starting tomorrow on the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. And I'm hoping that they have the thing I remember clearly from that experience was Watto talking through all the game.
I happen to have a chance cube.
Yep, that was the big phrase pickup. Oh, well, so this is game engine footage, huh?
Yeah. Okay,
that's nothing like what I played on 64.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now this looks pretty cool. Look at that.
Wow.
That's third-person perspective.
Yeah. Why couldn't a Squadron's done this, right? Wow.
That's cool.
Oh, that's great.
Huh. How much is it?
I'm sure it's going to be $59. It's a new release.
Let's see.
There's no way it's not $59.
I don't know. Wow, that's how it looked like on the N64. Wow.
This is leaps and bounds. That was impressive.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Would you like to try my chance cube?
Would you like to try my chance cube? Wait a minute, is this it? Racer Revenge?
Racer Revenged.
Racer Revenge. Oh no,
no. That's not it. No.
Star
Why don't you
Wars.
just go to GameStop's website and just see if you?
No, I refuse to do that.
Why? Why?
Cause. Oh, okay. Oh, get another delay. Oh, it's coming out on the 23rd.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so I don't know where it's at.
Well, why don't you go to Best Buy's website then, since you got a
here we go, CNET.
personal vendetta against... good grief. I love GameStop, people, by the way. I don't care if the toast doesn't. They take care of all my Black Series.
Nah, they're gonna get...
Love your GameStops. Support them.
They're gonna get I don't.
No.
You know what? I think what we saw. I don't think that was right.
Really?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah,
That was almost too good to be true.
Yeah, I don't think that was. I think that was something else. I think this is it, really. I don't know. What did I just?
Well, what they did mention was that they were bringing it back from the 64 with enhancements. So I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, so maybe it's just some enhancements, but it still looks the same. You know what? I don't think it's that much money. Ah, you know what? Let me turn on my Switch.
So what were you playing earlier?
I don't know what that was.
That said that it was in-engine footage. What was that?
I have no idea what that was. It was just something I popped up on YouTube. I don't think that was right. Hold on, let's see.
You're hopeless sometimes. You know that, right? You're absolutely hopeless.
Hold on, coming soon. I'm looking at my Switch. Hold on, calm down. Let me see. Oh, Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Oh,
I want that. Oh, you can make
swear
little,
it's like that.
You can make little cakes and stuff.
Oh, it's like
That's
that
cool.
animated film with that dog, and it goes squirrel.
Oh, up.
Yeah.
How come it's not here? Wait a minute. What's today?
The 22nd.
Oh.
I said tomorrow.
I didn't know what time it was.
How many
Hold
times did I say tomorrow?
Just a few.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, Paper Mario Origami King. I haven't turned on my Switch in a while. You know, my sister's getting mad because she wants me to play Animal Crossing. I downloaded it. I kind of just started.
When was that Paper Mario released?
It's not the original one.
No, the origami, the one you said just now.
6/25 on the 25th.
It's coming 6/25.
Yeah, I don't see the Star Wars Racer here. This is
Well,
because you can look at the new releases on the Switch.
Well, probably it's not there because it's out tomorrow.
No, it's for new releases. Oh, unless it's under feature or recent releases,
which happens to be tomorrow.
I know, but that may be like, I don't know. I can't see it. I don't know where this damn thing is. Maybe it's not really coming out. Maybe it's a lie.
It's coming out. This has been talked about for some time.
Oh, they have SpongeBob Battle of Bikini Bottom. What? Don't be mad. That looks cool. I like the Nintendo Switch. They have really cool little games. Nothing crazy. But I can't find it.
Obviously.
Yeah, I can't. It's not on. There's a Samurai Jack video game coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Shibu.
Is there going to be a point where you just stop looking for it because you're
not? Yeah. I'm done.
You know what? I'm just going to find the.
I love that. All right. I'm done. All right. Well, we only got 3 minutes in the show. We can talk normal stuff now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know when the hell that game is coming out. I can look on it. You know what? Forget it.
Look at that. Episode 1 Racer comes to Switch, PS4, June 23rd, CNET. It's on CNET for crying out loud.
I'm not disputing what you're saying. I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on the coming soon. Maybe on my PlayStation app. It's not coming out on Xbox Live?
Switch and PS4.
Oh, that's it?
No Xbox.
It's kind of weird. Where's my I don't even know my PS4 login.
On the CNET, it's got the gameplay footage on it, so it's...
What is it? It looked like what I should.
It looked like it's going to cost $15.
$14.99! Okay, $14.99. I'd pay $14.99 for that. That's all I wanted to know is the price.
No online multiplayer.
No,
but you can engage. But you can do the old school split screen stuff on the Switch.
Okay. Cool. I'm down.
So there you have it.
All right.
I bailed you out again.
Breaking news. He's more resourceful or interested than I am. I was looking at other cool stuff on the Switch. I like that thing.
You're still reeling from your massive failure trying to argue that the saga needs fixing.
Whatever. I'm going to go eat a hamburger after this. Anyways, man. Well, good show. I always like that we get to talk when we talk Kenobi because I get really excited. I'm just super ecstatic about what they're doing. The news is kind of slim picking because there's not a whole lot going on right now. But we find stuff to talk about and get off topic about like we normally do. So,
yeah.
You know how we go. But next week, what do we have? Let me see. What's the date next week? It's going to be on the 29th. All right. Ooh, the 29th. That's going to be a red letter day. It's the day the gym opens up at work, the indoor gym. Yes.
Be careful with that.
Super excited. No, they've taken all the proper precautions and measures, man. We're going to be great. We're going to be set. And then we got.
Well, Chad, you said it's your work. It's not a public gym, right?
No.
Oh, good.
No,
Okay.
not public gym. So
Good.
And then you know what? Since it's going to be the 4th of July, we should do a special 4th of July edition of the All Fetts Are Off. I think we should do.
Well, that's going to depend on some things.
Why?
Well, I have to see if I'm working.
On the 29th?
You said you want to do one on July 4th.
No. We'll celebrate it on the 29th show.
I see.
On Monday's show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We could have done that if I was gonna come into town, but since I'm not, we'll do that. I'll be decked out in my red, white, and blue, and I got a cool cowboy hat. It's gonna be awesome. Everybody's gonna love it. Well, all right, man. Well, you have yourself a good night.
You as well.
Continue to be safe out there.
Thank you for Tex Utah and Dark Knight for joining us and coming out for us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching, and it's
somebody get brave and Skype us. We're waiting for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody get brave. Come on now.
I gotta set up a Discord because it's easier. They could just call in if they wanted to, or just voice in. It'd be easier that way too. I gotta set that up. Maybe I'll work on that this week. Yes, I can. So we'll do that, and that's pretty much it, man. Anything else?
All right.
Nope.
Everyone, be healthy. Stay safe out there. Make good decisions where you are, please.
All right. We love you, Twitch.
We're going to yub nub out of here.
Yub nub.